On the news, Rivers lawmakers withdraw impeachment notice against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. National Assembly Committee frowns at Petroleum Ministry's 2024 budget. And Lalong takes Senate seat as Akpabio declares double vacancy for elections. Welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I am Zimisola Atigun. 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly have withdrawn the impeachment notice that was previously sent to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The governor has also withdrawn his suit against the House at the court. The lawmakers officially began their sessions in the state capital of Port Harcourt on Wednesday, where they announced their decision to withdraw the impeachment notice as a gesture of respect following a reconciliation meeting convened by President Bola Tinubu on Monday between the feuding parties. Recall that the lawmakers commenced impeachment proceedings on October 30, 2023, less than 24 hours after the House Assembly complex was attacked and 6 weeks before defecting to the All Progressive Congress (APC). Reading a letter on the floor of the House signed by 24 members, the factional Speaker Martin Amewole said the House would abide by the letters of the agreement and the advice of the President. The recent resolution of the political crisis in Rivers State, brokered by President Bola Tinubu, continues to stir reactions and legal concerns. In an interview with TV 360 Nigeria, legal expert Evan Sufeli expressed reservations about some aspects of the resolution, saying that certain elements do not align with the law. He voiced concern that the peace anticipated from the resolution might not be sustainable in the long run. Ofeli also pointed out that the agreement seemed to foster godfatherism in the state, differing from the resolution of the political crisis in Edo State.
Some of the resolutions do not actually sit down well with law. Like one of the resolutions where it is said that they have to reconstitute the full house for the budget, to be presented again to a full house. The budget in question has already been passed into law. There's no provision under our law where you have to reconstitute, even though the law is silent about the fact that after passing a budget, you went and had a resolution over a crisis. And part of the resolution is that the budget should be represented. So what happened to the previous one? And then what happens to the new one? The previous one will not be called budget of what? And the new one will not be called budget of what? So, this agreement they went to, they got themselves into as a result of this crisis, I don't think is even providing a solution to the problem under reference. Because if you look at the other side of it, they talked about the fact that the 27 persons who initially defected from PDP to APC, whose seat have been declared vacant by the speaker, the factional speaker, and now we have been told that that should no longer have effect, that should be withdrawn. And then all the cases filed by Fubara and his team, all should be withdrawn. If the seats of 27 lawmakers or 26 of them have been declared vacant, under what law should you pass a resolution to subvert already written laws? And there's a sense in which what they have done would lead to peace. But you see, the peace in the state is paramount. But then the peace should not be laid down in such a way that it will run at the expense of law, because the reason is that you are laying precedent. That is why we are very careful when we talk about law. And this agreement seems to me like something that is going to encourage godfatherism the more. It left on me, I would have said they should allow it to run the way it ran in Edo State, where Obaseki fought godfatherism to a standstill and defeated it. And now the strongholds of godfatherism is quite very weak in Edo State. But what they have done now by this agreement, where the president stepped in, is that it has created a soft landing for Wizkid.
Meanwhile, the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Umar Damagum, said a former Rivers State governor and Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, is not above the party. Damagum, who disclosed this while responding to questions at a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday, hinted that the party leadership will sanction Wike and others who were involved in anti-party activities at the right time. This is coming on the heels of the admonition by some stakeholders within the PDP asking Damagum to sanction Wike and others for alleged anti-party activities during the just concluded general elections.
Our party insists that having now vacated and lost their seats, the only option available for the former lawmakers, if they wish to return to the House of Assembly, is to seek fresh nomination and re-election on the platform of any political party of their choice, in line with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and the Electoral Act 2022. Not only Wizkid, there are other people that also have worked against this party. When we get to that level, we'll sanction everybody. So if Wizkid today believes is above this party, we will be able to show him that he's not above the party.
Former Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity Simon Lalong has taken the oath of office as a newly sworn-in senator representing the Plateau South Senatorial District. Lalong's official resignation was submitted to President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday, paving the way for his transition to legislative responsibilities. The swearing-in ceremony, presided over by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, took place on Wednesday during the plenary session. Senate Clerk Chinedu Akabweze administered the oath of office and allegiance, with Lalong accompanied by the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC.
I, Simon Bakola,
do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
that I will be faithful.
That I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That as a member of the Senate.
That as a member of the Senate.
I will perform my functions.
I will perform my functions.
Honestly to the best of my ability.
Honestly to the best of my ability.
Faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And the law.
And the law.
And that I will abide by the code of conduct.
And that I will abide by the code of conduct.
Contained in the 5th schedule.
Contained in the 5th schedule.
Of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So help me God.
So help me God.
In a related development, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has officially declared 2 senatorial district seats vacant following the resignations of Senators David Umahi and Ibrahim Gaidam. The appointment of Umahi and Gaidam in August left the respective senatorial zones without representation.
Declaration of vacancies in the seats. Declaration of vacancies in the seats of Ebonyi South Senatorial District and Yobe East Senatorial District. I hereby declare the seats of Ebonyi South Senatorial District of Ebonyi State and that of Yobe East Senatorial District of Yobe State vacant. This declaration is in accordance with Section 68, subsection 1D of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, following the assumption of office as ministers of the government of the Federation by the previous occupants of those 2 seats, Senator Dave Umahi and dismissed Senator Gaidam Ibrahim. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, may therefore wish to commence the process of conducting by-elections to fill the vacancies immediately.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, has disclosed that Nigeria will be signing a development project partnership memorandum of understanding with the Republic of Turkey in January 2024. Speaking after a courtesy call by the ambassador of Turkey to her office, the minister says the collaboration will be in the areas of disaster management, sustainable development goals, and other humanitarian projects. On his part, the Turkish ambassador announced that a development corporation which will coordinate the entire humanitarian project with stakeholders at the state and federal levels will soon take off.
We are grateful to the Turkish ambassador and his team for coming in to pay us the courtesy call. He's spoken very elaborately on the Turkish Development Corporation, which would help partner with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to see how they can invest in the alternate out-of-school children, build support education, promote health protection, social protection in the country. They would also support that. We would very early in January, after all the documentations have been completed, sign an agreement with the Turkish government early in January on the development cooperation, and of course disaster management. Would also sign another agreement with them on disaster management, as well as setting up a proper humanitarian and disaster management system in Nigeria. Very early next year in January, we can get all of this signed, both in Turkey and back here in Nigeria with the president, and we can begin immediate implementation, which will help us, number one, tackle humanitarian crisis as well as disaster, and then secondly and more importantly, we'll be able to tackle poverty through the various development cooperation initiatives that we'll be working on with the ministry.
We want to have, two agreements to be signed, one on the development area, and the other one's the humanitarian disaster area between Turkish Disaster Management Authority and NEMA of Nigeria. And it will give the opportunity to, especially in the areas of floods or natural disasters, it will have the opportunity to work together. And in the field of the development cooperation, we will have the kind of sustainable development projects that we can help Nigeria as well.
To national matters now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has announced that the 2024 budget is scheduled for passage on Saturday, December 30, 2023. This declaration was made as the House resumed plenary on Tuesday, December 19. Abbas conveyed a message from the Committee on Appropriations to various House committees, emphasizing the imperative for them to conclude and submit their reports on the budget defense by government agencies before 8 p.m. on December 19, 2023. He also clarified that subsequent activities, including compilation, processing, and harmonization, would follow in the lead-up to the budget passage.
And information from the Committee on Appropriation, and appeal to all committees that are unable to finish their budget defense and submission of their report. They have up to 8 p.m. today to finish the budget engagements and also submit their reports for defense at the Appropriation Committee office. And also want to inform you that the official laying and passage of the budget will be slated for Saturday, 30 December 2023. In between these two dates, all other activities like harmonization and compilation and processing of the bill will take place. So please take note, those of you who may want to go for Christmas.
Still on the 2024 budget, the Joint National Assembly Committee on Petroleum Resources has expressed disappointment over the appropriation of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, saying that it falls short in meeting Nigerians' expectations. Chairman of the committee, Senator Jarigbe Agom, made these remarks during a budget defense session in Abuja, where he said the budget did not sufficiently address President Tinubu's commitment to alleviate the impact of fuel subsidy removal by introducing palliatives. The committee also expressed doubts about the accountability of funds allocated for CNG advancement in the country, citing the inability of the steering committee to justify the funds received from the approved 500 billion naira for palliatives.
The Steering Committee on the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative has also refused to brief the National Assembly on the activities and programs they are carrying out. The activities are shrouded in secrecy, and the Ministers of State, Petroleum Resources, Oil and Gas are totally in the dark as to the activities of the Presidential CNG Initiative. In trying to get self-help, the Presidential CNG Initiative has embarked on a fundraiser in order to extort funds from so-called stakeholders. As a parliament, we do not align ourselves with running government programs in disregard of the provisions of the law. We cannot achieve what Mr. President wants without providing for the CNG project and other very important projects in the Appropriations Act. Doing so will only open a window of fraud which will impact negatively on the citizenry. Let it be on record that the Steering Committee of the PCNGI cannot account for the funds already provided from the 500 billion naira approved for palliatives for the purpose of CNG advancement in the country.
This institution does not take for granted the issue of what you call it supplementary budget. Supplementary budget can always come only and only if on the circumstances of emergency. Issues that will have complete concern directly bordering on the lives and well-being, welfare and well-being of the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So supplementary budget as provided for by our laws here or rules of the Senate and the House is only meant to address such. So what I'm saying in essence is that ministries and agencies of government must always take so copiously this opportunity given to them at the end of every year during main and proper budget presentations. If you simply leave something lagging behind, expecting maybe probably the president will come up with a supplementary budget and you take advantage of that, that will not necessarily be taken. Because supplementary budget itself, sometimes it creates public suspicion.
Let's take a short break here, but coming up in the news, Colorado Supreme Court disqualifies Trump from 2024 ballot, pauses ruling to allow appeal. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here is a recap of some of our top stories. 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly have withdrawn the impeachment notice that was previously sent to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The governor has also withdrawn his suit against the House at the court. The lawmakers officially began their sessions in the state capital of Port Harcourt on Wednesday, where they announced their decision to withdraw the impeachment notice as a gesture of respect following a reconciliation meeting convened by President Bola Tinubu on Monday between the feuding parties. We also told you that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has announced that the 2024 budget is scheduled for passage on Saturday, December 30, 2023. This declaration was made as the House resumed plenary on Tuesday, December 19. Abbas conveyed a message from the Committee on Appropriations to various House committees, emphasizing the imperative for them to conclude and submit their report on the budget defense by government agencies before 8 p.m. on December 19, 2023. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on NYMEX World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Well, let's have business news with Tamilore Akinkolie. What's the latest, Tamilore?
Thank you so much, Sola. Well, in business, it's good news for Nigerians who want to travel to their hometowns and visit their loved ones this Yuletide season, as President Bola Tinubu has approved a 50% slash on the price of interstate transport fare for Nigerians from Thursday, December 21, 2023 to January 4, 2024. The president approved free rides for commuters on all train services within the period. Minister of Solid Minerals Development Dele Alake announced this to State House correspondent at the Aso Rock Villa on Wednesday. However, Alake said air travel was excluded from the initiative as it is targeted at the masses.
The president is well aware of the recent increase in cost of interstate transportation and even for air travel. Traditionally, therefore, our people love to travel during Christmas and end of year to be with families and friends, and this has been the practice for ages. We also know that globally, intra-country travels and movement of people, goods, and services always peak around Christmas and end of the year because of socio-gravitational pull of the period, which transporters always cash on to increase fares astronomically. In recognition of the economic situation of the country, which the president is working hard to turn around, President Tinubu wants Nigerians to be able to travel within Nigeria to wherever they want to go to meet their loved ones without the extra burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate public transportation. It is in this wise that the president is announcing through us that beginning from tomorrow, that's the 21st of December, Nigerians willing to travel can board public transport via minibuses, luxury buses at 50% discount of current cost, and all our train services on the routes the trains currently serve at zero cost to and fro on their travels this holiday season.
And still in business, in the hospitality business, the Chief Operating Officer for Middle East at Marriott International says he is thrilled about the work Riyadh Gates Development Authority is doing to transform Saudi Arabia to a global tourism hub. Speaking exclusively to TV360 on the sidelines of the groundbreaking event at Ritz-Carlton Residences, which is located in a UNESCO World Tourism Site, Sandeep Walia says the kingdom's dynamics and passion on the Vision 2030 and the energy of the people is what attracted Marriott to the Saudi market.
I think it's the energy. It's the energy and the focus on tourism. There is so much of energy in the local people, not only to visit, but to work in hotels. So I give you an example. We started a program called Tehseen, which is a joint program between Marriott and Cornell. And the endeavor is that we'll have graduates from this program working in our hotels. So we're getting ready not only for the 38 existing hotels, but 40 hotels to come. The energy, the passion that we find the local Saudis working with is breathtaking. It makes us feel that we took the right decision a few years back. It adds to the authenticity of not only the architecture, which, for example, the Raya is bringing in, but also it makes the guest coming in feel more authentic about the place. So I think the authenticity of the location would certainly add to that. But then we're also seeing different giga projects getting into the Red Sea, NEOM, where we are going to be exploring places where nobody has visited.
We'll take a break here. Stock market report is up next. Local bulls ended on a positive note on the third day of trading, closing at 1.28% as investors pushed the market cap to 40 trillion naira, with the all-share index at 72,470 basis points. The market breadth also ended positive, with 34 gainers against 24 losers. Now, Multivice, Mining and Exploration and Transcorp Nigeria led the gainers, closing at 11 naira 55 kobo and 7 naira 70 kobo. Now, in summary, 121 NGS listed equities participated in trading, exchanging 554 million volumes of shares in 7,910 deals, worth over 12 billion naira. Now, away from us local stocks to our select global stocks, investors remain hopeful that there will be multiple rate cuts in 2024, giving all our select global stock a bullish run, closing at 1.02% and the US Dow Jones at 0.19% and Japan's Nikkei at 1.37%. And that's all on business and stock market report. Over to you, Simi.
Thank you, Tamilare, for that update. Let's move to the United States, where the Colorado Supreme Court has disqualified former U.S. President Donald Trump from serving as U.S. President and from appearing on the primary ballot in Colorado due to his role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. This ruling makes Trump the first presidential candidate deemed ineligible for the White House under a rarely used constitutional provision that bars officials who have engaged in insurrection or rebellion from holding office. While the ruling currently applies only to Colorado's March 5 Republican primary, it could impact Trump's status in the state for the November 5 general election. Trump has vowed to appeal the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Colorado court has delayed the effect of its decision until at least January 4, 2024 to allow for an appeal. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian singer and songwriter Tiwa Savage has revealed that she's suddenly feeling sick ahead of her December shows. The beautiful mother of one took to her official Instagram page as she shared photos of medications prescribed for her. Tiwa Savage had in October postponed all her performances, saying she has been instructed to be on strict vocal rest for the next few months. Popular Nigerian musician Ayodeji Ibrahim Balogun, popularly known as Wizkid, has spoken about the pain he's dealing with over the death of his mother, Dolapo Balogun. The singer lost his mother in August 2023 during a tour for his album More Love, Less Ego in Europe. And since then, the music icon hadn't been himself, with fans even worried about his recent tattoos. Taking to social media to express his feelings since the departure of his mother, Wizkid stated that life had been meaningless without her. The singer, in a post on his Instagram page on Wednesday, urged his fans to walk with God. And that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now. Okpayemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos.
Finally, on sports, the premier event in African football, that's the Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, is scheduled to take place in Ivory Coast in 2 years. The organizers are optimistic that their security protocols will avert a recurrence of the tragic event that marred the Cameroonian edition in 2022. The competition will run from January 13 to February 11, with Senegal defending the title they won for the first time after beating Egypt on penalties. And it's a wrap on News Now. Many thanks for watching. See you next time.